Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is a little bit of a different video. I am a massive convention goer. I absolutely love going to comic book conventions, and I've been seeing all over social media lately just the exact same questions circulating, and I know back when I started conventions I didn't know a lot, and I thought I would sort of talk through the different sort of types of conventions that Australia does, especially with Supernova starting this weekend. I thought it would be a good opportunity just to talk about conventions because they're fun, they're so worth going to. Highly recommend, obviously, or else I wouldn't have been doing them for 10 years. But yeah, so I have with me my folder of all the conventions that I've been to. Pretty much my main reason for going to conventions is to meet actors from television and film. I think that's a great way to support these people that you love, who you've grown up watching or who you've just found and are really excited about. These conventions also host comic book artists and voice actors for animation. A lot of authors will go as well. This weekend, V. Schwab, who is an author a lot of people know of, is actually attending Melbourne Supernova, which is really exciting. She's the first author I've actually read that's going to one of these conventions, so I'm very excited about that. I just thought I'd go through base information about conventions, and yeah. So Australia hosts two main conventions throughout the year, which is Supernova and Comic Con, well, Oz Comic Con. These are held by two separate companies as well. So they are run slightly differently, but they are very much the same in their base information and sort of what goes on, how you go about buying tokens and entry and things like that. First things first, it is always cheaper to buy your entry online for these conventions. They do up the prices at the door. So online for Supernova, for example, I think I paid $37 for an adult ticket to get in for this weekend, whereas it's going to be $42, I think, roughly, if you buy at the door. So it is a little bit more expensive. So I do suggest getting them online. They do offer PayPal, which is always good. So your money is definitely protected when it comes to that. They also offer their online tokens for autographs and photos with these actors, and anyone that you can physically meet and have to pay to meet will be at these conventions, will be online. In saying that, people get a bit freaked out about the prices when it comes to meeting these actors. Some will start at about $50-$60 and will go upwards of $200. I haven't paid $200 to get a photo before, but I have paid a bit more for a whole experience, which does end up working out cheaper if you think about it, because it usually involves getting your entry in as well. So pretty much you have to pay to get a photo or an autograph or both with these actors. I'm mainly going to be talking about actors, but you need to pay to get photos and autographs done. You get an online token which you print out, they'll scan when you go to line. They will usually give times as well. So for me, for this weekend, I am meeting Tyler Posey at the 10:30 a.m. photo session and Ian Somerhalder at the 1:30 photo session. And it tells you which photo booths they're going to be in. You get a layout of the land. It is overwhelming if you've never been to one of these before, but I highly recommend them. Comic Con is also run the same way, with buying your tokens online for both photos and autographs. But yeah, so years ago you used to have to wait almost all day to get your photos, and now they print them out on site, so you don't have to stress about waiting, you know, almost 5 hours to get a photo. You've got to wait like 20 minutes at max. It's so much faster now. They've worked out all the kinks. They've got printers on site. They're definitely on the ball when it comes to getting your photos now. So pretty much at both of these conventions as well, you will have these big booths full of Pop Funkos and comic books and artwork, and the artists are usually there. You'll have independent authors, and it's just a big group of so many different distributors and there's usually a Pizza Hut and a Domino's sort of booth for food. There are people who are making book sleeves and hair bows and just all this really cool, fun, geeky stuff that is just absolutely amazing. So I do recommend pulling out money before going to these things, because not everyone takes card, but it is, like, most people will take card too. Cosplay. At all of these conventions, if you have weaponry, party or cosplay, it has to get marked off as safe. So let's pull out some of mine that I've had. Okay, I have one that's unsafe that I would use for photo shoots, and I just have because I do, and I desperately need to get a proper ginger wig to do a good photo shoot with it. That is my steel bat that I use for Lydia Martin. This is I use it for when she's actually like taken Styles' bat. That's why I have this one. This is unsafe to take into a convention. It is full on steel. You can hear it against my hand. Like, you cannot take this into a convention. They will remove it from you. You will not get it. Don't take anything like this. Harley Quinn is a big character that's been cosplayed, especially after Suicide Squad. I did it right before Suicide Squad came out, but I did have a bat, and it's this one. Now, note, obviously this one's starting to break. I need to tape it back up, but it is actually a foam bat underneath with contact paper and a lot of writing all over it. I did the entire, like, the goodnight and the diamonds and all the extra writing. I've got, you know, the song, and I've got Mr. J and Arkham Asylum written all over it. This was definitely safe for me to take into Supernova. You get like a little, like, almost like a zip tie goes around your weaponry to say that it's been accepted and checked by staff, who are all volunteers, by the way. Practically all the staff are volunteers. Please don't be mean to them. They are just there to have fun and have a good day and get experience. So please don't be mean to them. They don't know everything. They know most things, but some of them don't know everything. So be nice to them. That's just my little tidbit, because I hate when I see people rude to their volunteers. It's so disheartening. But yes, a volunteer and staff will come around and check. Because it's foam on the inside, it can't do any physical damage, so that's absolutely fine to take in. I also did Clary for Comic Con last year, and I'm thinking of doing Isabel or Emma, depending on how blonde I am, for Comic Con this year with Dominic and Alberto coming. But I do have a serif blade, so I have my serif blade with runes drawn all over it. My mum was kind enough to help make it for me, but it is just like balsa wood. It's very thin balsa wood with the actual tip very blunt, and like extra paper, and that was fine. Once again, zip tied around, absolutely fine to walk around with a blade. From afar it didn't look that safe, but once they were up close, and it's just balsa wood, it's not going to hurt anyone. So that's absolutely fine to take into the conventions as well. That's the serif blade in photo too. You can take real wood in too. I don't have it anymore because I lost it, but I'm just going to get the photo of it. When I met Eliza Dushku from Buffy, I cosplayed as Faith, because why not? A lot of the time they'll let you use them for photos too. I'm a baby in this photo too, but I actually had 2 stakes, so you can take things like that into, they check them, you're all good, and yeah, you just go from that. That was from Supernova in 2013. Oh my god, that was so long ago. But on the topic of, you know, your cosplay weaponry, you can cosplay as absolutely anything you want, as long as it, you know, meets proper standards. Like, it's usually very cold, so a lot of people will go with more of a warmer cosplay to stay warm, but these places are really hot too. But I've done a lot. Obviously you've seen my Faith and my Clary, but I've done Belle from Once Upon a Time. That's my full Belle, so I had the skirt and everything as well. I've done the Doctor, I've done Blue Dress Lydia, which is also in that one. Pink Dress Lydia as well. There's another version of My Faith, and then Harley. But you can pretty much cosplay as whatever you want. You don't have to focus on a certain character or anything like that. My first convention I didn't cosplay. I mean, I'm so young in this photo. Oh my god, this was 10 years ago. But like, I'm just wearing a Vampire Diaries shirt when I met Nina. So, I mean, you don't have to cosplay to go to these conventions at all. It's just so much fun. And especially when, I remember when I was as Harley, a little kid actually got a little bit scared because I was Harley and she was dressed as a little baby Harley too. But you just pretend you're in character. It, like, especially when little kids come up to you to take photos, it's absolutely amazing when you just have to put on like a voice. It was probably a highlight of conventions for me, was that though. Also, I know there's a lot of photos in here, obviously. I've been doing this for 10 years. This is 10 years of collecting, not collecting like celebrities or anything, but going to these conventions. I've been very fortunate with the opportunity to be able to meet a lot of these actors. So yeah, I'm not ungrateful for any of these experiences at all. Yeah, that's sort of a little bit of base information. I've just been seeing a lot of questions about photo tokens and what cons are actually like, and I just thought I would do a video to put my 2 cents in. That's about it really. I know it was a bit of a haphazard video for this week, but I've got Supernova this weekend. I'm so excited and I just want to talk to people about conventions because it's so much fun. I love going with friends. I typically go with my boyfriend, but when I was younger I went with my mum all the time. I went with a couple friends. I introduced a lot of friends to conventions and they now go every year, so it's awesome. And you see the same faces a lot of the time too, so if you go to a lot of these different cons, little more independent ones where it's solely based on, you know, a TV show, like my Teen Wolf ones, pretty much every time I've met a Teen Wolf actor, it's been the Teen Wolf conventions that have been run in Australia, and you see the same people every year, you talk to the same people. Everyone's lovely, everyone's there for the same reason. Make some friends, even when waiting in line. If you're by yourself, please just talk to people because it's so worth it. It really is. But yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys found it somewhat informative. I know it's not really that informative, but yeah. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.